Morning, guys. Welcome to Coffee Chat. Wow, what an absolutely gorgeous morning it is, too. Got a nice little breeze coming in here. Kind of cool, but quite refreshing, so it's really, really nice. Well, guys, it is Friday, and that means the weekend is here. And I'll tell you what, the weekend is for friends and for family. And I sure hope that you get to spend your weekend with your friends and family, that's for sure. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, the article that I was reading this morning, boy, I'll tell you, if you can't see the narrative, what that they try to use every little situation to take away more and more of people's liberty, it's crazy. This one is coming out of the Discord leaks. And what they're really talking about here is these end-to-end messaging apps, like WhatsApp, like Discord, like stuff like that. And they're trying to come out now and say, hey, look, it might not be very good to be allowed to have these, encrypted private messaging apps. And Discord itself isn't really that encrypted. But of course, they're using this as an opportunity to kind of hit the whole space. And what are we really talking about there, guys? We're talking about an attack on our freedom of speech and our ability to communicate with one another in private. And this is the deal. They're trying to use this whole leak of this military information as a justification to shut those services completely off or down, or have them in such a way that the government, if they need to, can go in there and see your private conversations. And guys, I'm telling you, this is a major slippery slope. And to use these kind of leaks as justification is ridiculous. And why is that? Look at all the leaks that have gone on between all these various government departments, DOJ, FBI, and on and on and on. When it suits them, those leaks never get, and all this kind of stuff. And here they got this situation where this information was given to a 21-year-old kid. Now, hey, look, I had a military background as well. I'm not justifying that what the kid did and his actions or anything like that. But I think, hey, a little bit more scrutiny needs to be put in to, the amount of access that you're giving these kids, that are taking on these jobs. And really the oversight, needs to be way better. But that doesn't mean that you strip everybody else of their liberty and their ability to communicate, with that anonymity between each other and that kind of stuff. And the way in which, our freedoms have been slowly edged away on the backs of all of these various events causes you to have some suspect and think to yourself, I wonder if there was any planning going on there. Like, how in the world did this kid get access to that information? And furthermore, why on earth was it not caught before he actually released it? Because I'll tell you something, guys. Having been a federal officer myself in the past, no matter what you do, even if you just print something off, a record is made that you printed it, and systems are in place for warning bells to go off. If somebody prints something, even looks at something, that really they don't have any kind of reason for doing it and that kind of thing. And it seems to me that should have happened, and they could have been on this way before the leak took place. At least that's my estimation. And so did they just allow this to go down so that they would have a good reason to actually come after all of these peer-to-peer, type of chat messaging services and go after encrypted messages between, individuals and citizens and stuff like that? And I think maybe they did. I don't know. It's kind of a suspect. At least that's how I look at it, from having a little bit of an inside view and that type of thing. So there's something really going on here, guys. And I'll tell you what, if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. You don't stand up. If we don't stand up right now and really advocate for our freedoms and our freedom of speech especially, I'll tell you, they're going to come after it full bore. And it wasn't too long ago, think of this, that Elizabeth Warren was coming out tabling legislation to make using a VPN to access services that the government deems not to be very friendly and all this kind of stuff, that you would pay a massive fine and jail time for doing it. And I'm thinking, who on earth is this person? They're a Democrat, they want to call themselves Democratic? Unbelievable, guys, because I'll tell you what, that kind of totalitarian control That is not what we would believe in or what most people would think that would be put out by a senator of the United States Congress. But that's exactly what's going on. I mean, they're going after our liberties, they're going after our freedoms, they're going after our ability to actually communicate with one another, they're going after our opinions and thoughts. In another article that I read this morning, this one was about attacking, making it illegal to just have an opinion on various issues that doesn't fit with other people's opinions. That, if it caused some little bit of offense or this or that, or someone got, a little worked up on your opinion. We're not talking hate speech here either. And there is a difference, that's for sure. We're talking about an opinion that might cause someone over here to get a little bit disturbed. Well, they just make a complaint, and by and by, you're under criminal investigation. That is absolutely insane. But that's what's going on in the world. You just take a look at some other countries out there, like the UK, by the way. In the UK, you can, if you say certain things publicly and it causes someone to be offended, you can actually be charged. That is truly ridiculous, but that's what's going on. And if you want to see all your freedoms and your ability to get out there and have an opinion, but not just have it, have the ability to express it, whether it's offensive to someone else or not. Look, this is the way I look at it. We have slipped so far away from healthy debate that, look, people don't even have the patience to truly hear one another. I absolutely do not mind. And I encourage, in fact, I welcome challenging debate to challenge my opinions, my ideas, my thoughts, and stuff like that, because that's how critical thinking works. And that's what really is good about our society, that people can get up and they can share all their different thoughts, ideas, suggestions, and opinions, and things like that in an open forum that allows other people to kind of think a little bit on that. Do you know there are some opinions that I've held that have been changed because I listened to somebody else's view on it and started to really think about, hey, maybe there's something there, and investigated it after that. And then my opinion changed on certain issues here and there. And that's what healthy debate is really about. But when you start crafting a narrative, and there only can be one narrative, and then you start imposing legislation to ensure that that narrative is insulated, well, you have just killed off probably one of the greatest things that we have in terms of sharpening our thinking and understanding of how the world works and different things that can happen and all that. You have literally just killed that right out of people. And I'm telling you, that is a serious slippery slope. And this attack, using this whole, Discord leak deal to actually go out and attack all these private messaging apps, in my view, is a major, major mistake. In fact, a fatal error in terms of what society can look like down the road and stuff like that. We need to shelter the ability to have individual conversations that are private. Look, we don't need thought police out there and all this kind of stuff, where just your thinking becomes critical, your opinion criminal, and your opinions become criminal for just having thoughts and ideas and stuff like that. Look, that's where it's going. And if we allow this and don't stand up and say something, then guys, like I say, if you're not going to use it, you're more than likely going to lose it, because these folks that are in these positions, these permanent bureaucrats around the world, they want to craft one narrative, and they want all of us to bow down to it, to basically capitulate our freedom of expression, and to feel that somehow we're doing something wrong when we're having these private conversations and just throwing ideas out there. I'm telling you, it is absolutely obscene. But guys, it seems like we've been going down this road for a good while. And it's time for us, in this space especially, right? It's time for us to really stand up and genuinely be getting out there ahead of it. Not just being reactionary, but being proactive and going out there and absolutely sharing, the benefits of what we're involved in this space. And we don't want to have a situation where we see central bank digital currencies being literally programmed to rob us of our anonymity and all that, when there's really no need for that. You can have CBDCs that don't rob you of your anonymity. There's no reason why we can't have these messaging apps where we're able to, share these ideas with people and stuff like that. It's not thoughts and opinions. Of course, that scares the powers that be, to be sure that, they used to say the pen is mightier than the sword. Of course, that scares them and that type of thing. But realistically, it's what people's actions are, right? And that's where you have to look. But that's not the way the world looks at things. My wife has a great saying, and she'll say it this way: we judge ourselves by our motives, but other people by their actions. That just seems to be the way it is, right? And that's the way these guys seem to be handling this issue. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that this morning. Well, guys, I sure hope you're having a fantastic beginning to your weekend on Friday here. And until later on today, we have a great video planned for you. I sure hope you have a good one. And until then, guys, take care.